Good morning and happy Thursday. So I didn't do my weigh-in Wednesday this week, which I weighed in yesterday on Wednesday. I just never got around to filming my weekly check-in. So I'm just gonna do this for today and call it a weekly weigh-in instead of a Wednesday weigh-in. So yesterday when I weighed in, my weight was down, but it was only down by 1.2 pounds. So ideally, that was not what I was hoping for. Obviously, I had gained 6 pounds in 2 weeks. So I was definitely hoping for a bigger drop in my weight. But at the same time, you know, the CDC suggests a 1 to 2 pound weight loss per week for more effective and more sustainable long-term weight loss. So with that being said, I kind of stayed within the recommended guidelines. 1.2 pounds definitely is within that 1 to 2 pound range. So a loss is a loss and we'll take it. I wish it could have been more, but it wasn't. But, while I'm disappointed about it, I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I am going to take ownership of this because I know that definitely I could have done more. I could have put more effort into last week. I could have lost more, but I didn't. But last week is gone now and I can't go back and change it. So there's no need in dwelling over it. So that is it. So down 1 pound this week. But I wanted to talk this week. Last week I talked about, mental health, in particular depression and fitness. So interestingly enough, I was doing a CEU class, and the class was called Emotions in Motion, and it was talking specifically about the relationship between anxiety and exercise. It's based on the principle of fitness and mental health, which was perfect because it was completely in line with what I was already thinking about last week anyway. While I've never had an actual diagnosis of anxiety, I, have had a diagnosis of the bipolar disorder, which I'm treated for depression because of that, and PTSD. So anxiety, I think a lot, probably somewhat the same as the ADHD, is kind of like just a general side effect that comes along with those, under the umbrella of those other disorders, of bipolar disorder, PTSD. I'm sure lots of patients or clients who have PTSD have had anxiety episodes. So while it's not something that I specifically or consciously deal with, it's still something that is relevant. So the course was very informative and I learned a lot from it. And like I said, the course specifically focused on the relationship between anxiety and working out, like exercise. And while I can't divulge all the course information because, it's protected by the governing agency who put out this CEU, and I can't give out their course. I did want to share some of the information that I found in this course. And I found it very interesting, very informative. So I kind of have my course pulled up here, and it's called Emotions in Motion, Research on Exercise and Mental Health, and that's what it's called. And it's a CEU course by NASM, NASMU, NASM. Anyway, I'm taking it through AFA, AFAA, as part of my CEUs for Zumba certification, even though I've yet to teach my first Zumba class. It's something I always wanted to do, was to get certified in Zumba, and now I am. And while I'm working on building myself up to have the nerve to teach my first Zumba class, I am still maintaining my certification. So anyway, back to this. It talks about a survey, and I'm just going to kind of look down at this. It talks about a survey or a research that was conducted. 56,000 participants over a 10-year span. And it concluded that physical activity is positively associated with good mental health. Okay? When mental health is defined as positive mood, general well-being, and relatively infrequent symptoms of anxiety and depression. Okay? So then it goes on to further say that exercise has preventative benefits. A more recent study determined a link between regular physical activity and mental disorders, including anxiety among adults in the United States, and concluded that regular physical activity was reportedly associated with a significant decrease in the occurrence of anxiety disorders. So, I mean, the data's out there. All you have to do is research it. I was just trying to see if there was any more of this, but it goes on and it talks about other research that was done. Here's a study, a positive correlation between exercise and symptom reduction. 10 to 20 weeks of physical activity was shown to improve energy and a sense of vitality, thus reducing feelings associated with anxiety. And so there's just so much data out there, and I was so glad I got that CEU class, because it just was that's what's been on my mind, the association between physical activity and mental health. Because like I said, it's not my place to tell anyone what is right or wrong for them. I know for myself personally, when I work out, when I move my body, when I'm active, when I'm losing weight, I feel so much better mentally as well as physically. So I know the data's out there, but I don't need to read the data to know personally that the relationship between working out, exercise, fitness, and mental health is there. It's so strong because I know it for myself. And so when people get the idea or the notion that I'm going to work on my mental health, so I'm going to stop working out for a while, I'm going to pull back in on my exercise because I need to work on my mental health. And I feel like I wish that they would do the research and that they would really look into the correlation between exercise and mental health. And then they would see that part of working on your mental health is working on your physical health. And that if you're thinking of ceasing your exercise or cutting it back and reducing the amount of exercise that you do, is probably not going to be as beneficial to your mental health as if you continue, even if it's 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, and it doesn't have to be like super high intensity. Like it doesn't have to be like a 1 hour Zumba class or, 45 minutes of kickboxing or going for a 3-mile run. Like it doesn't have to be that. Like a 20-minute walk outside, just that alone can make such a huge difference in your mental state for that time. In the course, it also talked about that there was like data that showed like people that worked out and their anxiety symptoms reduced, but over a gradual period of time, those symptoms returned. So the course goes on to reinforce that regularly working out, the intensity, the frequency, the duration, the amount of times that you work out can also have an effect on the symptoms as far as when they're diminished, how long they stay diminished, if they return, if they're still like significant symptoms when they return, or if they're more like just kind of subtle, different symptoms when they return. So the course, kind of pointed out that regularly working out every day showed improvement in anxiety symptoms to the point that if you were working out regularly every day, it could basically like pretty much eliminate your symptoms of anxiety. Because I don't know, there's a lot of science behind it. There's a lot of chemistry, with endorphins and dopamine and all the, the hormones of the brain and stuff. And, I understand that stuff because I've had to learn it throughout the course of my years in working in healthcare. And I understand it in the concept of that. I know what's going on when I work out. I know the relationship between, moving your body, physical activity, and, releasing the hormones in the brain, the dopamine. But I don't understand it enough to like really explain it. But like I said, looking up the research, there's so much data out there that just reinforces the importance of physical fitness and exercise in relation to mental health. And anyone who is looking to work on their mental health or looking for ways to improve their mental health or their mental state really need to consider the effect and the impact that working out, like I said, even if it's a 20-minute walk outside. If the weather's bad and you don't want to go outside, it's gloomy, walk around inside your house for 20 minutes. Turn on some music, turn it up really loud, and just walk around. I have done that. I have had times or days when I couldn't get out of my house. The weather was horrible, or there were times when Henry, my husband, was using my car and I didn't have a way to go anywhere. I just turned on some music and just walked in circles through my house. Just walk around, up and down the hall, around the rooms. I did what I needed to do because I needed to move. So anybody, again, that's like looking to work on their mental health and improve their state, their mental state, really needs to give consideration to doing exercise every day. And if you feel like you're not ready to work out every day, like I just can't do something every day, start small. Do 3 days a week, 20 minutes a day for 3 days a week, and you're going to start seeing some improvement in your mental state. And then as you feel better mentally and you start beginning to feel better physically and start to gain strength from moving your body and building a little cardiovascular endurance, building a little muscle endurance and strength, you'll just gradually want to start adding more. You'll want to add more frequency. You'll want to add more duration. You'll want to add more intensity, because as you get stronger, you're going to want your workouts to get stronger too, so that you feel like you're being challenged by them. So basically, that was kind of it. All that I really had that I needed to say this week. Still really working on focusing on the relationship between physical fitness, exercise, working out, and mental health. And, the data is out there. The studies are out there. The proof is out there. If you're trying to work on your mental health, please, don't give up exercising thinking that that's going to give you a way, that this is going to give you space to work on your mental health, when the working out is going to help benefit the mental health and really help strengthen and improve your mental state. So, look up any study, look up the data, look up courses. There's lots of online courses that people can take now. They don't have to be taking courses for a certification. You don't even have to pay for some of them. I'm sure there's free courses out there. Just look at the relationship between fitness, exercise, and mental health, and really give some consideration to doing some exercise at least a certain number of days a week, if not every day, even 10 to 20 minutes a day. Do it for your mental health, and you're going to see a huge improvement in your mental state, and you're going to you're going to feel better and mentally. And as a beautiful side effect, your body's going to respond to that exercise, and it's going to feel better. And, physically, then you're going to feel better, and you're going to look better physically. So just never disregard, the relationship that exercise has on your mental health, and reducing anxiety symptoms, reducing depression symptoms. I mean, it's there. So yeah, so down 1 pound this week. Hopefully, I'll say hopefully, I have a significant amount of weight that I am trying to lose. So 1 pound a week, while it falls within the guidelines of what's recommended, I would still like for it to be more than that. I mean, that's not unrealistic to want more than 1 pound a week weight loss. It's really not. And so again, I am working on some things that I have going on to get myself into a really good fitness program, and putting together a nutrition program to really kick things up. And I've also been considering, because about this time last year, sometime around this time last year, maybe closer to March, I started to do the 75 hard challenge. And in April was when I had my accident, and I had to stop the challenge. For several months, I worked on healing, trying to heal my injury. And it's something that I just never went back throughout the rest of the year and even considered picking back up. But I've been listening to a lot of Andy Frisella's podcasts recently, just trying to kind of get myself like, you know, kind of mentally built up. I ordered the book. I'm waiting on it to come. And I think that one thing that I'm fixing to do is I'm going to go ahead and restart the 75 hard challenge. But I just want to know that when I take it, because it's not an easy challenge. I was in it almost 3 months, I think 2-3 months. No, it wasn't, because I think I had my accident on like week 5. So I was like a month into it. Anyway, I was really early into it when I had my accident last year. So, but even just for that first month, it was not an easy challenge to stick with. So I just want to know that I have prepared myself and equipped myself for the challenge to be that mentally tough, because it's mainly a mental toughness challenge more than a fitness challenge. So I went ahead and got the book, and I just want to like really feed myself all the information that I can from the author, the creator, the brand owner of 75 Hard. And then I think I'm gonna, just kind of mentally prepare myself a little bit, like pre-gaming, and I'm gonna go ahead and restart the challenge this year. So we'll see how that goes, and I will check in next week with my weight. We're gonna say weight loss, but we're gonna check in with our weigh-in next week and see what kind of topic I can come up with to get on my soapbox about next week. If you've made it to the end of this video, as always, thank you so much. I really do appreciate and value when someone takes time out of their day to watch my videos. It really means a lot. And I hope that not only to join me and follow me in this fitness, weight loss, whatever kind of journey you want to call it, wellness journey, but I hope that you also get something from the content that I'm putting out with it, like, talking about the relationship of fitness, the relationship of exercise and mental health. Like, I hope that you get something from that. And with that, I hope that you have an absolutely amazing day.